Shams Charania has dropped a bombshell Kevin Durant Knicks trade report, and this has Knicks fans' jaws absolutely dropped, as looking into this situation, the New York Knicks' interest in Kevin Durant is much greater than it's ever been before, as the Knicks are already considering multiple options in trading for Kevin Durant, something that is not new and that they have been going over for the past few months now, and we are going to break all of this down. A lot to go over, guys. What's up? Welcome back to Knicks Digest. It's Chris here, and we're going to jump right into things as always. Guys, if you're part of that 74% that's not subscribed to Knicks Digest, make sure to subscribe. We got daily videos like this and much more for the channel. You guys have been killing it recently. I appreciate all the likes, the watches, the views, the subs, all that stuff. It really does help out a ton. Also, we have channel members now if you're interested in that. It is going to be an extra good time, as we're going to give you guys a lot of good extra content as well, and you'll get to be one of the New York Knicks insiders of your crew, because I got some inside info for you. But let's break into it, because there is a lot to go over, including some insider information for this video in regards to this guy right here and a few other New York Knicks as well. Because on top of all this Kevin Durant trade rumors, there has been another update about someone else. But first, we are going to talk about this Kevin Durant stuff, because this is the biggest update that we've gotten in regards to Kevin Durant potentially joining the New York Knicks that Knicks fans have ever gotten. And we're not going to dance around it. We're going to jump right into it. As Shams Charania revealed, there was some mutual interest between Kevin Durant and the Knicks at the trade deadline. The Knicks made an offer for Kevin Durant at the trade deadline, and obviously there was no Kevin Durant trade, but we'll see what happens in a couple of weeks, as Shams believes this is a trade that very likely is on the table. So, not only did the Knicks and Kevin Durant have interest at last trade deadline, Leon Rose tried to get Kevin Durant last trade deadline. He made an offer for one of the best players in NBA history to come join the Knicks in his age 36 season. Now, there's a lot of caveats to this, and we are going to go over everything, but this is an absolutely stunning update. This does not just mean, oh, the New York Knicks are interested in having Kevin Durant on this team. No, the New York Knicks, they want Kevin Durant on this team, as I fix my collar because I haven't worn this shirt in months. But that's what we're looking at right now. We are looking at a situation where Kevin Durant is now a real viable target for the New York Knicks, and there are multiple reports indicating that Durant would be happy to join the Knicks, as they are a team that's going on a win-now mode. And what we also know about this is the fact that when BKE DM'd Kevin Durant, what we saw is Durant pick the Knicks to win the NBA Finals. Now, we know one thing about Kevin Durant. That man is ring chasing like there is no tomorrow. He tries to put himself in the best situation to win, even when that is an overpowered Golden State Warriors team that makes basketball not fun for 2.5 years. Look, basically what we found ourselves in is a situation where Kevin Durant wants to join the New York Knicks. Now, there are other teams that he's interested as well, namely the San Antonio Spurs. The Houston Rockets are one as well, but as far as I'm correct, he's going to rather go to the Spurs or the Knicks. That makes more sense than a Rockets team that's a lot less proven and would have to give up a bunch of their good players outside of Schengen in order to land KD in the first place. I do think the Rockets have the best package, and I also think that the Rockets could very likely be where Kevin Durant ends up when this is all said and done. But for the first time, things seem like the New York Knicks have a very, very good shot at getting Kevin Durant on this team. As Evan Sidery mentioned, a legal framework for an in-season Kevin Durant Knicks and Suns deal would likely have featured OG Anunoby and Mitchell Robinson. Anunoby, Robinson, plus a veteran's minimum contract worked for both sides. Durant makes $51.1 million. Anunoby plus Robinson makes $50.9 million. Suns were over the second apron, so the Knicks would have had to throw some veterans minimum deal in that trade as well. So we would have seen that happen, probably like Cameron Payne or something, just to get it done. But obviously, that is a shocking update. Also, if it's around the trade deadline, it's likely they couldn't have flipped the line, right? Never mind, that breaks the NBA's rules. But basically, they would have traded someone away in that deal as well. And guys, where things stand right now, there is a trade that mirrors this quite well. If you are the New York Knicks and you decided to trade OG Anunoby, Mitchell Robinson, Tyler Kolek, and that heavily protected Wizards pick that's going to become 2 second-round picks pretty soon for Kevin Durant, you could get a deal done. Here's the thing. As Fanspo says, the Knicks lose 2 games because of that, and their defense gets much worse. I am not advocating for the Knicks to make this trade. In fact, I don't want the Knicks to make this trade at all. I think it's a terrible idea. I think this would really screw the Knicks over, and I don't think they would get anything good from it. They ruin their depth even further while becoming a top-heavy offensive team. It sounds a lot like a Phoenix Suns team that has no draft picks left over and is just top-heavy on offense and is probably not going to work because there's no defense there and no rim protection whatsoever, or really that much on-ball defense outside of Mikal Bridges, who also, once his touches, gets bumped down to 4th, is going to demand a big contract to stay with the Knicks so he doesn't go somewhere else that's got a better future and where he could get a bigger chunk of the offense. So I think this trade would be an abomination to the New York Knicks. However, the Knicks saw themselves in a win-now position and tried to make a move, and Mitchell Robinson was still not back from injury, meaning that they found themselves in that situation where, effectively, they tried to go all in. Now, there's a world where this was not the trade. This is what Evan Sidery said was the trade, and I know what everybody's thinking. What about Karl-Anthony Towns? Where does he play into this? Because he does play into this. Well, as we know about OG, he's a guy who was putting up 16 points and 4.6 rebounds with 2 steals in the playoffs. The Knicks could not give up his defense. I think OG is probably the second or third most untouchable player on the New York Knicks right now. At least he very much should be. He's too important to winning right now, and he's too important to the New York Knicks. But regarding the Phoenix Suns and their trade situations, Phoenix is in aggressive pursuit of A, trading Kevin Durant, and B, regaining full control over their draft capital, starting with the number 10 pick in the next month's draft. Now, since the conclusion of the season, Houston has fielded several calls from Phoenix, who have since gradually lowered their asking price for Kevin Durant. Those sources said there is a price where the Rockets would be interested, but with a fear of breaking up their roster for a 36-year-old coming off an injury, doubt remains over a deal materializing, meaning now it feels like it's the Spurs and the Knicks who have serious interest in Durant. And Matt Moore mentioned that the Suns have indicated to teams that a center is at the premium for them in any Kevin Durant trade talks. He might stick around, Durant that is, but the biggest interest is solving the center position, which has been a disaster since moving on from DeAndre Ayton, who's on Portland, putting up very okay numbers. Now, Mitch, on the other hand, would also be involved in this, but solve the Suns' center problems and also give the Suns a way more well-rounded team while making the Knicks not well-rounded at all. Mitch put up 7 rebounds and nearly 5 points with a steal as well and nearly a block in the 21 minutes per game he played in the NBA playoffs. He consistently got better as time went on, and he was getting nearly 4 offensive rebounds per game. Mitch is very hard to replace, and the New York Knicks might trade him because of contract situations, and this is going to be his contract year. It's likely they can't keep affording him, but it is going to be something that they'll look at. All this being said, it does become this situation where you're like, all right, this is tough to gauge, but it could still go down. And I think the New York Knicks should not do this trade. Now, as we know, Karl-Anthony Towns plays into it because Towns makes almost identical money to Kevin Durant. So theoretically, you could flip Towns for Kevin Durant. However, I'm here to tell you right now, based off inside information that I have gotten, the New York Knicks are very, very likely to keep Karl-Anthony Towns. There is not much traction on the Knicks trying to trade Towns. It has nothing to do with his price and more to do with the fact that Leon Rose has wanted Karl-Anthony Towns on this team since 2020. He's not going to be like, whoops, this year didn't work. We only made the conference finals. Get out of here, Cat. Let's get a 36-year-old who's been injured a bunch. Even though he's Kevin Durant, it doesn't matter. He's injured a bunch, and, well, his defense is slipping as well. Screw it. Let's try that and shorten our championship window and also give up more than just Karl-Anthony Towns in the process, and KD could theoretically just walk in a year if he's not happy anyway. Let's do that. No. Leon Rose is not going to do that. That is something that's not going to happen. So as long as Leon's the president of the Knicks and he's not going anywhere, it's unlikely the Knicks are going to trade Karl-Anthony Towns for Kevin Durant. And in that sense, I think it's unlikely the New York Knicks are going to trade for Kevin Durant at all. Why? Because I don't think Leon's dumb, and I don't think he's going to be dumb enough to be like, OG, Mitch, you're out of here. Kolek, you're out of here. Who needs a bench when we have 3 offensive players in Towns, Durant, and Brunson? That team would not work. It's evidently clear the team would not work. I know it's different positionally, but it's too similar to the Suns and what they tried to do, and that didn't work. So let's not go down that road. Please, please, please do not go down that road. But guys, what do you think is going to happen with all of this? It's super important to go over. We look at Kevin Durant, man who put up 26 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, 1.2 blocks per game, 0.8 steals, shot 53% from the field and 43% from 3, with over 50% on corner threes. And then OG Anunoby, someone who's so important to this team with the 18 points, 5 rebounds, and 2 assists with the 1.5 steals and 1 block per game that he gets. OG fits the Knicks better than Kevin Durant, and also when you got to give away Mitch as well, just feels like an awful idea. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Like this video, subscribe, turn on post notifications. If you want to be a channel member, we have those now as well. Get a bunch of exclusive content. It's going to be really fun to go over. You guys can check that out. We're not done adding to the top tiers of the of the channel members, we still have more ideas for what we're going to do with that as well. So that's not a finished product yet, but we are going to give a bunch of exclusive stuff, and it's going to be really, really fun. So thank you if you want to join that. If you don't, if you want to like and subscribe, that works too. Guys, what do you think is going to happen? Have a great day. Go Knicks, baby.